Brought to you by Bank of Baroda, India's international bank. Ye Pingo, call more, pay less.
Hello and welcome to Chai Chat with Ladina. It's been thousands of years since Ayurveda has been around. It's a science that India calls science that originated in India, but yet not many people, and especially in the Western world, are very much aware or at least believe in it. So today we want to explore this field of Ayurveda, and at the same time, I am told that for the people of Ayurveda, this is good times, because recently a Nobel laureate from the field of medicine said that the molecular activity of the body is dependent on the circadian rhythm. Now, I found it very difficult to call circadian rhythm as to what it is exactly, but for that, exactly for that, I have with me Dr. Rajiv Raja, who is also from the field of medicine, but an Ayurveda doctor as well. And along with me, I have Gulu Anandji, in whose restaurant I'm sitting, brilliant, Umeshji, who's a magistrate, and Panditji, who is from the Mandir, and I think you'll tell me a lot about Ayurveda, and Mrs. Sharma, who I am told, I just discovered, also believes in Ayurveda. For some reason, women believe in Ayurveda. We'll go to that. But before this, I think I'll start with Dr. Raja. आप लोग upset मना होना मेरे से please.
नहीं
आप जो चाहे सवाल डॉक्टर राजा से पूछ सकते हैं, पर कुछ सवाल मेरे जहन में बहुत उमड़ रहे हैं. So please tell me, why is it good news, Dr. Raja? Thank you for joining us, first of all.
My pleasure being here.
For Ayurvedic people, if a doctor says that circadian rhythm is what our body depends on.
Ayurveda has been around for so many thousands of years, and people have started to call it sort of hocus pocus. It's not really, there's no evidence behind it, and modern medicine now, everything relies on evidence.
Yes.
So the more evidence that comes towards Ayurvedic principles, the better. Now, one of the principal focus on Ayurveda is prevention of disease. And prevention of disease, one way of preventing disease is to have a daily routine. It's called dinacharya or dincharya. Now, in Ayurveda, we've been saying this for thousands of years: have a regiment, have a routine for the day, and that will prevent any diseases happening, because it will keep the body balanced, and that will help prevent disease. Now, modern medicine is now, like the Nobel Prize for Medicine was won based on this sort of theory. So the circadian rhythm is something that is, it's how the body responds for the day with the sun. Sometimes the liver is active, sometimes the stomach is active, sometimes the bowel is active. It depends on the sun and how the body works. So it's all solar related. And Ayurveda said this for years. And now we're slowly coming to the fact that the body does act like that. And that's why it's good news for the Ayurvedic field.
Oh, fantastic. That's really interesting. We are all here students, aren't we?
We are.
And we are also here as patients. So we're going to make use of Dr. Raja completely, aren't we going to, Guluji? And we're going to change some of your food, I think. मुझे तो अभी हिम्मत नहीं हो रही है खाने की, क्योंकि मुझे पता नहीं कि डॉक्टर राजा क्या बताने वाले हैं, because I'm going to go towards weight as well.
हाँ, ये जो हमने यहाँ पे रखी चीज़ें हमारे लिए, ये सब healthy options हैं.
अच्छा.
तो ये as far as eating is concerned, the right food what you eat, I think balances the input of vitamins or other sort of fat content or anything in your body, which keeps you going.
Yes. So what keeps Ayurveda going is what I want to know. We're going to learn something from him, and then apne questions so we can bombard him. So what is the basis, Dr. Raja?
So Guruji said something really important, that what we eat is really important. Now, the saying, one of the sayings in Ayurveda is we are what we eat. So if we eat good food, then there's no need for medicine, because there's really only two causes of disease, major causes of disease in the world. There's diet and lifestyle. So if we've got a good diet and a good lifestyle, the chance we're going to stay healthy.
You're going to stay healthy. Now, you've done medicine as well, isn't it?
I did optometry and the Ayurvedic medicine, yes.
So, you have had fair bit of indulgence with the field of medicine, or let's say the allopathic world,
Definitely.
of course. What drove you to Ayurveda then?
That's a lot of people have asked me this question. It's genetic as well, I think, because my granddad, we've been brought up in an Ayurvedic family. So since a little kid, if you're ill, you have haldi or you have ginger or you abstain from food. Well, the most important thing is to fast when you come down with fever or when you've got a stomach bug. Don't put more food into your stomach. Just give your stomach a break so that energy can go to the rest of the body to heal it.
Now, there are three things, isn't it? Vat, Pitta, and Kapha.
Exactly.
Please explain that, and then we will go to each one of us.
Right, so there's three energies in the body called the doshas, okay? There's the vata, which is the energy of movement. It's the neurological communications. Any sort of movement in the body is related to vata. So if your nerves are conducting electricity, then it's the vata. The movement of air is vata. The movement of blood is vata. So anything which is moving is vata. Anything which is transforming is pitta. So any digestion that's happening, the liver which transforms, which nourishes, which converts, is pitta. So that's the energy of transformation and energy of reaction. Then kapha is the solid stuff. So any structure in the body that's built, it's based on the kapha system.
Do we belong to one category, or all three of them are in us?
All three of them are in us, and we're all individual. Ayurveda looks at, if two people have got a certain condition, they'll treat them differently because each person has its own, what they call constitution. In Ayurveda we call prakriti. And it's like your genetic code, Ayurvedic way of saying genetic code. So some people can be vata predominant. So the very slim, skinny people, they're vata predominant. Then kapha predominant are the people who are a little bit broader. And then pitta predominant are the people who generally have red hair or they've got lack of hair or different things like that. The more you study a human being, the more you can understand what your prakriti is.
Which means that our prakriti would keep changing as well.
The prakriti is the same, but what changes is something called the vikriti. Vikriti is where the doshas increase. So say you're born as vata predominant, pitta secondary and kapha tertiary. Then if your kapha increases, that's your vikriti. And what we do in treatment is we treat the vikriti, trying returning you back to prakriti.
So you have to stay close to your prakriti,
Exactly.
close to your nature. Not only nature as in nature around us, but our own nature as well.
Exactly.
And that will ascertain your diet, your what you say?
You're tending to have.
Yeah, you tend to have a certain kind of disease. So you are predominantly given to diabetes or something. Oh, that's really. But can you tell from us without? Do you have to look at our pulse or?
One way is looking at the pulse to get because the thing is where we present in clinic is generally the vikriti stage.
Yeah.
Because vikriti is not very many people are aware of prakriti. So people just eat, enjoy life as it's given to us.
When people come to a restaurant, they want to choose a favorite sort of thing. कि मुझे ये पसंद है, मैं घर पे ये खा नहीं सकता हूँ. So that's why they choose to come to my restaurant, in fact. And he doesn't want to get deprived of the actual diet he's on. Maybe a doctor has told him, okay, no, you can't have butter chicken. So butter chicken में fat content होगा, थोड़ी सी cream होगी. So the doctor has told him, you can't have that. But he still wants to have that urge that I want to have that, my favorite thing. So what we do here, now we've been doing that for the past 10 years, to make the butter chicken without the fat content and without the cream input in there. Now instead of cooking the chicken in the gravy and all that and with onions, we actually roast the chicken in the tandoor. We cook it in the clay oven. So it's even more dry, so the fat content is totally gone. And then we just mix that with the masala. So that way he's had his makhani chicken and he's not deprived of his favorite dish.
Fantastic. Now tell me, आपके सहल में कोई भी सवाल हो तो आप पूछें. But what I want to, go on, Umesh ji.
I think listening from you, is this a balanced way to how you have your dincharya, isn't it? I mean, some people have this fast food, they are running, taking the bus, going in the train and eating. I mean, obviously it will affect. If you are sitting down, obviously you are in a better state of mind and your body is also, you know.
So let's get to this. I think it's a relevant question that he does. What is the importance of fasting then? How does this fasting help us?
Okay, so
And also comment on the 5:2 diet. Remember the latest 5:2 diet, they say you can eat anything for 5 days and then fast for 2 days and you can lose weight.
Okay, let's go straight onto a diet. Now, remember, each individual person is unique. So a diet for myself might not be the same diet for you. A Vata Prakriti person shouldn't fast as much or should fast differently to a Kapha person.
Right.
A Kapha person has more strength, so they can abstain from food totally. A Vata person shouldn't do that. A Vata person can have a fast like a soup fast or a water fast. So they're having some food, or some liquid, but then being nourished, because Vata people, they're naturally prone to dryness. So if you give them less food, they'll dry even more, which will increase the Vata, which so it defeats the purpose. Now, fast, like you said, the fasting in the Hindu culture, there's Ekadashi. So the Vedas has said for a long time, we have to fast over a certain period of time. Because what it does is, in our body, we've got something called Agni. Okay, and Agnis are digestive juices which digest the food. Okay, and if your Agni is good, they say in Ayurveda you can digest a stone. So it shows that you can digest anything if your Agni is strong. And when we treat in Ayurveda, we treat Agni. That's one of the treatments in Kaya Chikitsa. It's called Kaya Chikitsa in Sanskrit. It's treating the body, it's treating the Agni. So that's where all our food is constant, all our medicine and the way that we treat is trying to strengthen the Agni. Because once we can digest our food, nutrition will flow to the body and nourish everything.
So digestion is the basis of everything in Ayurveda. I think I'm going to quickly, can you guess what each one of us are?
Prakriti? Okay. Lavina, you're Kapha Prakriti.
Are you sure? Now you can check.
Let me have a look.
You can confirm it, eh?
You're not going to lie, huh?
I wouldn't lie.
You said cuff and then I'll become...
Yeah, definitely a Kapha Pulse.
So what does that mean for me?
Kapha Pulse is, the Kapha is a Prakriti, so there's nothing wrong with being Kapha. So a Kapha Prakriti, generally people's shoulders are a bit broader. They are sort of, how can you say it, Kapha is made of elements of water and earth. Okay, so in the Pancha Mahabhutas, you've got the earth, you've got the air, you've got the space, you've got the fire, you've got the water, and you've got the earth. So Kapha Prakriti are more watery, more earthy. So if you think about their thought processes, it's very much slower than a Vata Prakriti, because Vata is air.
So I have less metabolic rate,
Your
which I've always believed.
is very slow.
That is the word which you look
Exactly.
That's why I eat less, but it lagta jalda hai.
And Kapha people find it more difficult to lose weight as well.
Thank you. What is the tip?
The tip is to eat only when you're hungry and have herbs which stimulate the Agni.
And what is that? What are these herbs?
Simple cooking herbs we can use to stimulate the Agni. So things like ginger, cumin, coriander. These herbs will stimulate cinnamon. Simple kitchen herbs you can use to stimulate your Agni.
Oh, so use more of that in your food.
More of the warming herbs, more of the herbs. Have warm food, avoid ice cream, cold food, sticky food, dairy products, those sort of things will help
I
Kapha.
can't live without yogurt.
Yogurt's not the best for Kapha Prakriti.
Really?
For Vata, if you're because if you look at the texture of yogurt, it's very cloggy. So if you're under any treatment, I advise people to reduce their yogurt intake, because if you look at it, it's very cloggy. So imagine it in your system, it clogs. So I say avoid. Yeah, you need to clear it.
Okay, brilliant. So before we go to the next segment, in which we all will check ours so that we can get all the three right, what are the oils that one should use in the house?
I'm a big fan of ghee.
Ghee.
Okay.
This is the biggest myth, and please, yes,
So
bust the myth.
there was recently the Americans have basically said that cholesterol is not a big problem as they used to think it was. Now, ghee is such a brilliant product. It's been around for years and years, and there are articles out there in research now which are showing that the ghee is needed.
It is. I think it's one of the better products, rather than using olive oil And this oil,
Yes,
MC's oil and all.
is olive oil good?
Olive oil is not bad.
But it's very rich.
It's
I understand.
rich, but it's actually a good oil. It's a good oil to use. Don't try not to use too much processed oil. Coconut oil is very good oil to use, but coconut is good to use in the summer when it's because it's cooling. If you think about coconuts, if you go to South India, a lot of coconuts in there.
Oh, so
lot of
summertime use coconut oil.
Wintertime you can use sesame oil.
Sesame oil.
Sesame oil.
So heating point of olive oil, they say, is very low, so it turns into fat.
Yeah, I mean the olive oil is. I think olive oil is still okay compared to the other oils that you.
So no sunflower, no.
I would avoid those
vegetable oils.
Yeah, because they're all processed oils.
What about mustard oil?
Mustard oil is not too bad, but I wouldn't want to eat with mustard oil. The taste won't be that nice.
I love it.
It's a bit
though.
sour.
The thing is, for kapha prakriti, mustard oil is good.
Oh, thank
Because
God.
it's piercing.
Something
So
I
you're doing
like.
something. See, it's your instinct. It's your natural gut instinct which says eat
Brilliant.
That's a
mustard
good
oil.
salad. She's going
Thank
to go
you.
and buy that.
Thank
tomorrow.
you very much. We then go to Panditji because they haven't spoken anything. But stay tuned because we're going to check each one of ours Prakriti and then get some idea because there are only 3, so you might belong to one of them and also bust a few myths about our lifestyle. So stay tuned on Chai Chat.
Brought to you by Bank of Baroda, India's international bank. Yepingo. Call more, pay less.